Wimbledon 2023, see the men's top 10 favorites. Frances Tiafoe. With the title in Stuttgart and a record of 5 wins and 1 defeat on grass, Frances Tiafoe is an extremely dangerous player on the Wimbledon floor. Plus, the American is in great shape this year. She's already won 2 titles and has 20 wins to the season on faster courts. Last year, Tiafoe achieved her best result in London when she reached the round of 16. Not only Tiafoe's loot, but also her movement has drastically improved since then. He never gives up and is a tough player to beat and full of potential. Nick Kyrgios. It's impossible to imagine this ranking without him, as the Greek-born Australian describes himself as the best player on grass. However, Kyrgios has struggled with injuries this season and is always full of surprises. If he is fit, he can easily go far in the tournament and beat any opponent. Despite the lack of performance this year, the bad boy makes the list for being a Wimbledon finalist in 2022. Talon Griekspoor. A few months ago, Talon Griekspoor won the now-defunct Punit tournament, and 2 weeks ago they claimed their first title on grass at Den Bosch in front of their home crowd. The Dutchman defeated De Minaur, Rusuvuri and Thompson, 3 grass specialists, to lift the pin. On the grass in Halle, he also managed to eliminate Hubert Hurkacz, but fell in the quarterfinals to Andrei Rublev. The 26-year-old is in the best shape of his career and can easily compete with any rival in the top 10. So far, he has never managed to go beyond the second round in the UK Grand Slam. However, this is expected to change with its current form. Traditionally off the radar of many spectators, Griekspoor could surprise. Alex de Minaur. In the Queen's Tournament, de Minaur only lost to Carlos Alcaraz in the final. His serve is one of the best on grass and his game is super variable, always leading, demanding his opponent's play to the limit. At Wimbledon, he is a contender for the quarterfinals and maybe even more. Andrei Rublev. The Russian number 7 in the world played the ATP 500 in Halle for the first time this season and reached the final. He narrowly lost the decision to the incredible Alexander Bublik after a thrilling 3-set battle. His performance, however, was impressive, as Halle was his only tournament on grass this year. The Monte Carlo winner did not participate in any other preparations before Wimbledon, but he has already shown himself adapted to the floor of the All England club. Alexander Bublik. After an unforgettable performance in Halle, Alexander Bublik is suddenly on the radar of tennis fans and a candidate to do well at Wimbledon. Kazakh oscillates between genius and madness, but his potential is undeniable. By Bublik's own admission, he hates playing tennis and stays on tour basically because it's his profession. However, success in Germany may have turned him back to the sport. Jannik Sinner. The great hope of Italian tennis just can't stay away from injuries. In Halle, he played at a very high level at times against Gasquet and Sonego, but then came the big shock against Bublik, another injury. Should he make it and stay at Wimbledon in one piece, the world number 8 has a massive serve and variable offensive play that would see him as one of the favorites for the trophy. Stefanos Tsitsipas. With his elegant style of play, similar to that of Federer, the Greek is predestined to shine on grass. However, success has not yet arrived. At Wimbledon he never made it beyond the round of 16, and at Mallorca he won his only title on the floor. Definitely not enough for a player of his caliber. The new boyfriend of tennis player Paula Badosa arrives in London with a better balance, and the bookmakers give good odds to the Greek. Carlos Alcaraz. At Queen's, the world number 1 proved to the ultimate skeptic that he plays hard on any surface. His sudden breaks can be useful on grass too, and his backline play and variable serve should bring him plenty of joy at Wimbledon too. As we saw at Roland Garros, Alcaraz is the guy who faces Djokovic head-on. It's true that the Spaniard hasn't managed more than a place in the round of 16 in the most traditional tournament in the world of tennis so far, but that will probably be different this year. If he doesn't get cramp again, his second Grand Slam title could come next month. Novak Djokovic. Nobody doubts that Novak Djokovic is once again the main favorite for the title. After failing to make the best impression in the clay preparation, Noel was again the strongest in Paris right when it mattered most. With the exception of Alcaraz, who was unable to play at full strength from the third set onwards due to cramps, none of his opponents at Roland Garros came close to dethroning him. We see no reason for the scenario to change on what is perhaps the surface that the Serb plays best. He has simply won the last 4 editions of Wimbledon. The others seem to lack the experience and mental strength necessary to be a real threat to Djokovic in a tournament whose matches are played in the best of 5 sets. It will come as a big surprise if the number 2 ranking fails to claim his 8th Wimbledon title and 24th career Grand Slam trophy.